Today's video, we're going over the new Brawler Amber and everything you're gonna want to know about her. Where is she good? Where is she bad? And how can you counter her when you see her? We also have two brand new gadgets that are both good and interesting for Bull and Max. Let's do it. By the way, if you guys are spending any gems this update, I would heavily appreciate if you use code Cory in the Brawl Stars shop. It does help support the channel a lot, and thanks to everyone joining the CCCC. Alright, let's start out with the two new gadgets, because it won't take too long, and then we'll go over everything about Amber. Starting out with Max's new gadget called Snakey Sneakers. This is going to be an amazing gadget. Just listen to it. Max blinks to a place of her choosing after 4 seconds of delay, recovering any damage she received in the meantime. And I'll show you some gameplay here, but this gadget is going to be an S tier gadget. Basically, whenever she uses it, any damage she takes, she will, after 4 seconds, be back to full health and at the place where she first used it. It sounds incredibly overpowered, and it is definitely really good. The one exception is if you die during those 4 seconds, you do not revive. That is the only thing. So you can't go completely Leroy Jenkins. You can take some damage, but you know, you can't just completely suicide and charge on in like we all know some randoms will do. But I mean, just think about it. The ability to negate about 4,000 damage can be really good. There's definitely a lot of possibilities with this gadget for not only confusing enemies and going back to a place of your choosing, but also wasting some of their damage and shots. The other new gadget goes to Bull and is called Stomper. And this one's pretty good. Not quite as good as Max's, but Bull can interrupt his supercharge and slow all nearby enemies with a massive stomp for 1.5 seconds. This is actually a pretty solid gadget for Bull. It does cover up one of his weaknesses, which is not being able to stop his super where he wants. Now, you're not going to use this super or this gadget in every mode. Like in Heist, you're definitely going to prefer the health because generally speaking, you want to charge the enemy safe from as far away as possible, so there's really no point in stopping sooner just to be able to get kills. This gadget is going to be really good for getting kills, but not quite as good for objectives. So you're probably not going to use this gadget, this new one, like in Showdown, because you'll probably prefer the health, although it's possible to use this fine. But outside of Showdown and Heist, I think you will probably prefer this gadget for Bull for most other places to stop where you want, get those kills, and better deal with the enemy. Alright, now for everything about the new Brawler Amber. I'm going to go over her strengths, her weaknesses, what mode she's good in, what mode she's bad in, if you encounter Amber, how to deal with her, and more. This Brawler is definitely going to be really solid, and it's probably, for the most part, one of the more balanced Brawlers we've had, new Brawlers in the game, except for one part about her. But first, let's go over all of her stats and things you need to know. Oh, and real quick, you probably want to know some of her voice lines, because they're not bad. Here you go.
Fire starter! Apply cold water to that burn. No, seriously, get it checked. I'm still on fire over here, and the burning continues. Does anyone have a fire extinguisher?
Alright, let's take her in training cave here and show her off. She's the only Brawler in the game where as soon as you start aiming, she starts shooting. And this is going to be a weird thing to get used to, because I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times I aim before I shoot in order to better aim my shots. With Amber, that's going to be a difficult thing to adjust to. Now, the one thing you can do with Amber is you can shoot multiple people with the same shot. It goes through things, and her shot lasts, her one shot, she can shoot continuously for 4 seconds or slightly longer. And in order to reload all of that one ammo bar, it takes about 8 seconds. So her reloading is relatively slow compared to a lot of other Brawlers. And as far as charging her super, it takes half of one ammo bar if you hit every single shot in order to charge up one super. Also, of course, her range is the same as Bo's, 8.66 times. Oh, and if you hit every single shot of one ammo bar, she does a ton of damage. 13,440. Yeah, so you do not want to be hit by a lot of these shots. Alright, well, why do I say Amber is very balanced except for one big thing? Well, it's a combo of 3 things put together that make her a little bit overtuned, or at least this one part about her, and it combines her super, which when you throw it does a potential total of 2,000 800 damage, and you will find, since you can leave it on the ground for as long as you want, you can just wait for someone to walk into it in order to set it on fire. Although it is a bit awkward sometimes to not set it on fire accidentally. Like if you throw it in front of you and you want to attack someone, well, you might accidentally set it on fire even if someone's not in it. But combine that super with this star power. And then one other thing, Wild Flames, Amber's star power allows her to have 2 oil puddles on the field at a time, which is relatively fine. But the big part about this star power is if she is near any of those oil puddles, it starts automatically charging up her next super. And it takes 19 seconds in order to fully charge that next super just from this star power, which is relatively not bad. Now, combine that star power with this gadget, probably one of the best gadgets in the game, unquestionably, in my opinion. Amber runs fast for 4 seconds, and while she's doing that, she's spilling that super fire fluid, that oil on the ground, and she can ignite this and deal a ton of damage to enemies. So not only does she have a crazy fast movement speed, which puts her at the same movement speed as a Leon with his fast movement speed super, yeah, it's really fast, but also allows her to potentially deal a ton of damage. And you can charge up your super with that fire fluid if you're not immediately using it for damage with that first star power. So you can charge up your super, deal a ton of damage, and escape from enemies. So this is an insanely valuable super. Even if you're just running away, it charges up about 1/4 of her next super just from using this, combined with her first star power. So this is an insanely S++ tier gadget. By the way, if you didn't notice, her movement speed is very fast, so it's the same as brawlers like Mortis, Leon, or any other brawlers that have the very fast movement speed. So combining that good area control and denial and good damage super with a star power that allows her to charge up her next super easier, and combine that with the gadget, which allows her to charge up that super with the star power and allowing good escapability plus extra damage, that combo of chaining supers is going to be very, very strong with Amber, and is definitely the best part about her. Plus, combine it with her fast movement speed, decent range, she is going to be hard to deal with. But she definitely has some weaknesses. For example, since her attack is something that takes 4 seconds in order to dish out the whole ammo bar, she isn't exactly very good at dishing out damage crazy fast. If someone is in her face and she needs to deal with them, she can use her gadget to try and escape, but she can't dish out a ton of damage right away. Even her super takes damage over time in order to finish someone off. You will also find with Amber that it's a bit difficult to heal, or at least it's going to take some adjusting in order to heal up with Amber, because it takes 4 seconds. You have a 4-second ammo bar to keep shooting enemies. So honestly, it's not that hard to be shooting your ammo a majority of the time, as long as you're not in a close range fight. If you're picking off enemies, you're going to find you might not always be healing up as much as you normally would with other brawlers. With a lot of other brawlers, you might use 2 ammo shots or 3 and then go behind cover and heal up, because you can use your ammo very quickly, and then while you're reloading, you just go heal. But with Amber, you'll find a lot of times you're able to keep shooting more often than not, or at least it feels that way. But arguably, Amber is one of the best brawlers in the game at dealing with groups of enemies, not only with her main attack, which can hit multiple enemies at once, but her super, which can deny an area for good area control and hit multiple enemies at once. All right, now let's go over what modes I recommend you push Amber in, and what modes you should probably avoid, as well as what tier she's going to be for every mode, and then I'll go over how you should counter an Amber if you see her. Now, first off, overall, I think Amber is an A-tier brawler. She's very solid, but she's going to have some weaknesses. Now, let's go over the modes I recommend you push Amber in. First of all, I think she's going to be quite good in Showdown, and the main reason for that is her gadget. Having that very fast movement speed combined with her even faster movement speed of her gadget is going to allow her to survive really well in both solo and duo Showdown, and her normal attack is pretty good for checking bushes and is good at pushing enemies back, which is a really good thing to have in Showdown. Yes, you can't deal that immediate damage to scare enemies away, but in Showdown, if you can just threaten enemies and make them medium health or low health, it will oftentimes scare them enough to not want to fight you or to go towards a different part of the map, and that's good enough. So overall, I think she's an A-tier brawler for the survivability, but not S-tier because she doesn't have the immediate crazy fast damage. Now, there are 2 modes which I highly recommend you push Amber in. One of them is Hot Zone. I have her as S tier in this mode. She is very good at area denial and pushing enemies away, and of course, it's going to be really, really good in Hot Zone. She's going to be able to stop enemies from going in a zone or punish them a lot if they do. Combine that with being able to put her super down ahead of time to make it so, hey, if you want to get this zone, you're going to take a lot of damage to do so. That's going to be really, really good. S tier for sure in Hot Zone. Another mode I have her S tier in is Gem Grab. Her fast movement speed can allow her to carry gems if she needs to, along with her gadget to survive and escape. But also, the area denial is a really good ability in Gem Grab. Of course, putting down the super to stop enemies from going towards the gems, or even just denying enemies from a lane is going to be a really good ability. Now, there are some other modes which you can definitely push her in, but I don't think are going to be quite as good in. First of all, Heist. I think she's either a B tier brawler or a C tier brawler in this mode, and a lot of it has to do with her not being able to dish out immediate damage. She does have really good area denial though, so she's certainly playable, but as far as defending a really high health enemy like a tank, it's going to take some time in order for you to deal with her, so that is a big weakness of Amber in this mode. And that sort of also relates to her strength in Siege, where I think she's either B tier or C tier. She can't immediately stop an enemy from grabbing a bolt if they're going to go ahead and dive and go and do this and then back up far away and heal up. She can't stop them from doing that. She does have some area denial, so to a degree, if she gets her super, she can then, you know, try to stop enemies from getting bolts that way. But if they are super high health, combined with a fast movement speed, like you're going to see a lot in Siege, she's not going to be amazing. She's definitely playable, but not really good. And again, that lack of immediate damage makes her just decent in a mode like Brawl. She can pass the ball without taking up any ammo, which is a really good ability. So I have her as B tier in this mode because she does have some solid attributes combined with a fast movement speed. That's definitely a really good ability for Brawl. She's not that bad, but basically the lack of immediate damage and utility, like not being able to break any walls, which is great in a mode like Brawl, puts her at a B tier for me in this mode. Definitely decent, but not going to be amazing. But definitely one mode I would recommend you avoid playing with Amber is Bounty. I have her as C tier in this mode. Could potentially be worse, but she's not a really bad brawler in my opinion. But in Bounty, of course, the lack of immediate damage is going to be a problem. Her range isn't insane, and she does have fast movement speed, so she's certainly playable. But if there was any mode I would avoid playing with Amber, it would be Bounty. Now, what do you do if you see an enemy Amber? How can you counter her? Well, the biggest and most important thing is your dodging pattern. With Amber, if you run in a straight line forwards or backwards, her damage is going to start stacking up really fast. That is really important to not do something like that. A really good tip for dodging an Amber attack will be trying to zigzag or fake zigzag. What do I mean by fake zigzag? Well, basically, you start going in one direction, fake like you're going to zigzag, fake like you're going to go back in the other way, do a little bit of dodge, and then completely continue in the direction you were going. This should a lot of times fake out an Amber to switching their shot over to one direction while you are actually going the other way. Another really good tip for dealing with an Amber is trying to get up in her face so you can dish out all of your shots at once, not miss any of them, while Amber's only needs to dish out a little bit of her damage, and you should be able to faster out damage her, and then you can go ahead and try and get back behind cover, or using bushes to surprise her is another good way too. Of course, with her super, there's not a lot you can do except try to approach it and pretend you're going to go in it to get her to set it off early while you're actually going to back away right as you get to the edge. Otherwise, you're just going to have to hope she wastes it. By the way, here are her emotes. I didn't show you. They're nothing crazy. I mean, they're pretty much the normal stuff you would expect, but she also has a decent angry emote and she has a torch one. Well, hey, that's going to be it for this video, but thank you so much for watching. I do hope everyone enjoyed, and I'll catch you later. Peace.